So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. For today, what can I say? We are having an incredible super badass Thursday because we have on the show the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only Ali. Ali, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. What better way to have an incredible super badass Thursday than to be chatting with someone as badass as you know what I mean? Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. It helps a lot. But also, in the description below, you're going to find all of Allie's social media. And let's find out why she's super badass, right? I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out, like the first question, which is, what was the moment that hit you? Was it like, I don't know, during your childhood by watching a play or a movie? Or like what made you trigger this kind of passion for you to be like, you know what? I'm just going to start in the acting world now.
It's funny, like I have a hard time remembering my earliest memory when it hit me because I feel like I've always had it. And anytime I would watch film and see these characters on screen, it just touched me so deep that I couldn't stop thinking about it. It felt like I need to do this. I want to try this. This seems so natural to me. And it goes back to one of my favorite quotes from actually Winston Churchill. He had a quote that said, never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. And it started like taking up my mind every day when I was a kid until like now. And there would be roles and many actors and actresses on screen that I would be sucked in, and it gave me an experience, and I would always take away something from it. And I knew I need to do this. And when I started doing it, it felt so natural and I couldn't get enough of it. So, it was definitely something that I wish I could remember my first experience, but it's always been there. It's always been there for me.
And isn't that just great that whenever you're kind of on the right path, eventually things start
Yeah,
to connect, like things eventually start to make more
absolutely.
sense to it. I find that that is something magical, let's say, about life. The fact that
Mhm.
suddenly when you're on the right path, it just feels good. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
regardless if you're having like this chaotic moment that we all have, if it is on the right path, it tends to feel different, You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So.
Absolutely. And I feel like I don't know if you feel the same way, but when you have something you're so passionate about, it makes you feel so light. And it almost gives you like a natural high. Like this, I feel like I am really embracing my authentic self. Like this just feels so aligned. Like this is what I need to do.
Do you remember the feeling of your first audition? Was it like terrifying or exciting, or it was just a complete disaster with a lesson that you never forget?
So my first audition, I was absolutely terrified. But then I had reassurance, and it was way back in high school. I had reassurance from my teachers and other classmates that they're just as terrified and nobody gets it right. And at the end of the day, I had no confidence in myself, but apparently I got it right. And I ended up starting getting roles, getting things that just felt natural to me. But when I talked to others, they would ask, how would you do that? How did you apply yourself like that? And that's when it started connecting more.
It happens, right? That whenever you are starting out, it
Mhm.
might not be that much great. Yeah, unfortunately for some people, and fortunately for some people, you kind of need those, let's say, mistakes or missteps
Yes.
along the way to kind of
Yep.
keep working on your craft. So. And tell me, looking back, what's
Mhm.
something you wish someone had kind of, yeah, let's say warned you about when you were just getting started into the whole acting industry?
So I wish somebody told me not to take rejection personally. Over time, when I would apply myself to roles, even recently, to not beat yourself too much over it because you never know what the directors or casting directors, whoever they are looking for. And I always used to, and I still do to this day, it depends. I take it personal. I'm like, oh, I wasn't skinny enough, or maybe I didn't do enough. And it didn't matter how many times or how many takes I did before sending a self tape. I will never know. And I used to think of so many different reasons, and I'd be self critical on myself. And I wish somebody told me to just let it go and that it happens all the time to everybody.
It's just, nobody likes being rejected, right? So.
No.
And tell me, like, during this whole downtime, between auditions, like during that time, is there something you usually do to kind of stay creative, or like, what is your thing here?
So for me, because I love film so much, I will watch new movies that come out. I will also look at ways I can help reinvent myself. And you know what? I should look at training in this or pick up some sort of language or maybe learn this or this to add to my resume. But the most helpful thing for me lately, I actually journal. So I write with every acting experience and I look back at the end of the year and it helps me be more mindful and grateful that look how far I've come, look at how much I worked on, and the criticalness and everything else starts to wear down. Like, I did really well. I'm really proud of where I am. And I am trying, aren't I? Like, so the journaling certainly helps. And just always looking at how I can better myself, how I can better myself as an actress and what else I can be doing.
It's easier said than done for sure. When you
Absolutely.
get like a little bit of a no here, and because like somehow, I mean, I get it that it takes time for you to kind of assimilate, for you to be like, you know what, wasn't personal. I totally get it. I'll keep moving forward. Yeah, it sucks basically, because you can be totally prepared for this role, and you can be totally be like, you know what, I'm just gonna nail this one. This is for me.
Mhm.
And then turns out, and I think that applies, I think that applies also like in life in general. I mean, we all have
Yeah,
been in this
it does.
in this position, right, in which we have been super prepared, ready to go. Everything is,
Mhm.
you feel good, and then turns out that it end up not the way that you were expecting to it, and sometimes turns out to be something amazing. You know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like life is like you have to face some sort of adversity to be like, you know what? If I didn't face that, I wouldn't have so much to keep pushing myself. Or I wouldn't have that thing that, oh, I really wanted that role so bad, or I really wanted that job. And now I'm going to work even harder. And if I didn't like work as hard, I feel like I wouldn't gotten certain roles or I wouldn't have applied myself. I would have been careless. So there's ways, I guess, like life it's like a balance. It's you never know if it's going to go the way you want it or if it's just ends up something completely you don't expect. But I guess there's that old phrase of rolling with the punches or just doing the best you can.
Every actor has like this moment, right, in which they start to think, should I keep going? So, if you ever had like that moment, and if you did, what pulled you back into the game?
I actually have those trains of thoughts almost every time I audition. Like, am I doing it right? Am I in over my head here? But then I know those are just voices saying, let's just settle. Let's just settle. It'll be easier. Let's just settle. But then I like to think of it as the little girl in me. I wouldn't be validating her dreams. And as I get older, I want to live a life I actually lived, not settled because it was easier. I want to try and push for my dreams. So every day I doubt, oh, this is too much, or I can't do this. But every time I go against it, it's like a little win for me.
Mhm. As I said here, I mean, I think when you are like on the right path, I mean, it's understandable. I mean, we all have those moments, right, in which we just want to quit. But I think like
Yep,
whenever that feelings start to come, I mean, as at least what I've been working on is that okay, so I have these thoughts, I'm gonna take a break. Turns out that usually on those breaks or on those off times, you tend to get like more inspired. You know what I mean? You tend to have like this
absolutely. Yeah.
ideas start
And
to
it,
click, like.
right. And I think with that, when I start, if I'm really stuck in my head, I like to weight lift. I like to work out and I feel like I can get that out of my head if I just exert whatever is going on in my head that's doubting me. And it could be conditioned thoughts, it could be opinions from the past. I get out of the space, I physically like get outside or I go to the gym and then I come back and I'm like, I'm ready to go.
When you step into a new character, is it more like putting on a mask or, peeling a little bit of back layers of yourself?
So I actually feel like for me with this one, it's a little bit of both because I learned this from one of my favorite acting teachers, and I'll say her name because I don't think she'll know. Her name's Ellen Jacoby, and she's actually she's a casting director. And I learned so much from her. And she told me to create a vault. And that's something I've learned to do all my life. And I just didn't hear it by a name about creating a vault is something you see in life or something you see in film that you could use for a character. Like for example, the movie The Water Boy. There's so many characteristics in that movie that I like to apply for comedic roles that I keep in my mind because to me that says something in me for comedy. And so I keep it in my vault. So I know how to act in the character I want to act in a comedic role because I think back on something from this movie, or it might be something like I saw somebody out and about wearing this crazy outfit and talking very weird. I take that and be like, I'm gonna use that for an audition. So I feel like part of it is putting on a mask, but also I'm applying something that I've seen or want to act. So
Mhm.
that's where I kind of come from.
Tell me, what has been like the wildest thing you've done to prepare for a role? Was it like a little bit of a method acting going on, or deep research that changed the way you see the world,
A
basically?
little bit actually more of method acting. I had a role I did actually, it was recent, it was in the fall. I had to play like I was like a drug addict or somebody that had problems with drugs, to somebody who was getting possessed and turning into a werewolf within minutes. So I
Okay.
had to go from somebody that was kind of sane and then being possessed in a matter of minutes and being able to elevate that emotion and that expression so much that it didn't show too much of the camera on me, but I had to provoke this onto the characters. And then when the camera was on me, I had to be convincing enough that I wasn't in my state of mind, something else was taken over. And so that was a little hard. We had a couple of takes with that one because I had to be in the mind frame of a killer. I had to think like a wolf, and this was a horror movie, and I had to think I am not this person anymore, even though I just was like 3 minutes ago. So I actually watched a lot of horror movies around that one, and it was around that time, anyways, October. And that one was a hard one
Okay.
because I didn't
Okay.
get to see myself on the screen. So I was hoping, like, oh, I really hope I'm giving it enough. But everybody else seemed really pleased by how I was performing, but it was deeper than I was expecting.
And tell me, during this whole process or playing this character at the same time, like how do you protect your own emotions and not let what the character is living actually
Mhm.
hit your personal life somehow? You know what I mean?
I try to find something that's lighthearted or find something that can kind of help ground me a little. So I will remind myself to actually drink water, to walk around, make small talk with people on set. Because if I'm not, normally conversing with other people and I'm still in character mode, it will stay with me longer and it'll be hard for me to like get back with myself. So I need to make sure that, okay, when I'm done doing this scene, I need to go over there, drink some water, and say hi to some of these people on set just to kind of reel in, okay, we're still here, we're still doing well, instead of just being stuck in this character. And then I'm going to be up at night stuck in emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reality, like, let's go back and do things I'm normally doing. And then let's snap back into it has been the easiest way for me to go about it.
Tell me what's something about being an actor that no one ever talks about, but definitely they should.
You have to want it all in acting. You have to invest more time than you think. And you have to learn new skills along the way. And a lot of people didn't tell me that. And I had to learn that on the way, that they're not, when you audition, you don't want to always bring the same thing every time. You want to bring new skills. Like somebody told me the other day, hey, it wouldn't hurt if you just took safety gun training. There are so many roles that won't hire actors and actresses that don't have safety gun training or know one other language because they don't have time to teach you. They want somebody that has a lot of skills that they're going to bring that puts you outside of the other actors and actresses. They want to know that you take this professionally and that you're investing more and more knowledge in other ways to act and other ways that, I bring this to the character. I don't need to learn this. I know how to do this. So I think always reinventing yourself. And that's something, again, I had to learn along the way
Okay.
that I didn't do many years ago. And I would tell that to my earlier self for sure, or others.
And let's say that one day I call you, right? Then I tell you that
Mhm.
that I want to become an actor. Now here's the thing, zero experience. So based on what you know, where do you think that it would be a good place for me to start?
I would say first get headshots or even take shots from your cell phone from the shoulders up to get a picture of yourself out there. and then anywhere around your community or somewhere close, because again, you got to get some experience and also learn if this is for you or not. Because a lot of people are like, I'm going to do this. And then when they do it, they're like, oh, it's not for me. Find student films, find people that are just looking for actors. There's many colleges, there's many universities, there's even many companies that are looking for extras for commercials. I would say Backstage isn't a bad one to start with. It's a website that a lot of student films will put roles out there. Some of them aren't paid for, but it gives you the experience. And it also lets you know what it's kind of like. And then growing from there, taking those people that you meet, network with them, network, get to know people, ask about any upcoming projects if this is for you, and just grow. Take pictures, do self tapes of yourself, doing monologues, do all of it. Put yourself out there and what you want to offer, what you bring. That's so different. Would probably
Okay.
be the advice I'd give.
I'll tell you what, if I ever become an actor and if at some point I write my memoirs or even I win something, I'll mention you in my thank you speech.
Oh, thank you so much. I
There you
love
go.
that.
And you know what? My last question here, so we can all enjoy and relax after a cool chat here. Here we go. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
I think for the name of this episode is Acting. Do you really want it?
Sounds like
What
a
do you
plan.
want to learn? Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. And you know
Yeah.
what? At the end, what can I say? The fact that you're doing, yeah, the fact that you keep pursuing what makes you happy, that you are rocking out there, that you're doing your best. I mean, that's pretty cool. I think
Right.
it's people like you in this world who, besides giving us cool characters and all of that, you're also showing, that dreams can come true. And I think that is a super powerful message that sometimes we should definitely be relying on, especially now in this crazy era we are currently
Yeah.
transitioning. The fact that we can, as I said, rely on people like you, that is incredible. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I mean, absolutely about consistency and just being true to you. I think of it now as if I hear criticism or judgments or critiques, even from like closest people in my life or just people I know, anyone, I start to treat it as background noise. It's my life and it's my dream. And it's up to me to make that come true because it's not going to just magically. Everybody has to like put the work in where they want to see themselves. And it's just, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, I feel like. And I never want to live a life where I look back and I'm like, ugh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish like, for instance, with you, like, I wish I painted more. Well, I am. So now I don't have to feel regret. And I think
Totally.
that's one of my biggest fears. And I think I've had a lot of acting teachers. The number one factor why acting doesn't work out is people quit. That's the number one, people quit. When I've been hearing that, it's like, okay, it's like that gym mind frame, challenge accepted. I'm not
Totally.
going to quit.
As we have been speaking in this episode, I think it's just part of it. I mean, I think that if you are passionate about something, of course, there are gonna be parts or moments in which
Right.
you might not quite like, but at the end of the day, I think that it's through those moments when you can get the chance to kind of discover more about yourself, like know more
Yeah,
about your limits, know more about things that you might need to learn, things like that. And I think that as long as we
absolutely.
have like that mindset, things will slip more easy in our lives and they are not gonna get stuck that much as we kind of take it personal. You know what I mean?
I think we all have something to learn from each other. I totally agree with you, knowing your limits. And okay, you know what? This is what I could do today. This is my limit. And that's totally okay. And, when I journal, I look back on, oh, wow, really exceeded beyond my limit. I started here at the beginning of last year and now I'm here. I think we all surprise ourselves too sometimes. And it's amazing. It's all a journey, right? So.
Mhm. As I was saying here, I mean, thank you so much for making this happen. I
Oh,
do want to
thank
thank
you.
also those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below, but also in the description below, you're gonna find all of Allie's social media. By this point, you should know why she's super badass. We totally get it now. So let's follow her. Let's share some love. Hashtag Team Allie. And again, Allie, thank you for making this happen. Keep
Thank
shining
you
out
so
there.
much, Dan. And thank you so much. This was a great time. I had a blast.
There we go. Keep rocking.
Yeah.
Keep kicking ass. Keep being the best. And I'll be seeing you in the next one.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good
All right.
night.
You too.